Welcome to Snoots Gaming. I'm your host Snoots, and today we have a very special episode of Let's Play Empires of the Undergrowth. This is the leaf cutter patch that has scheduled to come out as you're viewing it today. However, I got my hands on it a little early and was able to record it a little bit before everyone else got access to it. So I'm planning on having these next few videos come up the day it launches, so you have a guide to get through the first two challenges at least. And I want to do the third challenge, or the Formicarium challenge number 3, on Friday. So we're going to try to get that done. As you can see, I've been playing around with the new Formicarium just a little bit. We got our regular soldiers. We have one big leaf cutter, Major. He's a big old boy. Let's see if I can. There he is. Yeah, look at him. Look at the honking snoot on that guy. All right. So the chamber is set up very similar to the last Formicarium that I did. It's just a bunch of row of soldiers. Here's some workers. Here's some wood ants. The actual Formicarium itself outside looks amazing. Slug Disco really did a great job, especially with the ziggurat right here. I really like it. But it's really got a nice little jungle vibe compared to the desert vibe that the last Formicarium had. It's just gorgeous. So, with all that in mind, we can go ahead and take a look and see. I went ahead and picked up the Leaf Cutter Major with Stun, and he reflects about 30% of the damage back to a creature and cannot take more than 20 damage in a single attack. I think those two will pair well together. If not, we'll get it switched up later. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and get into challenge 3.1, the harvest. And we will go on medium difficulty. We're just trying to show everyone how it's done. I've already completed this mission. That's why all the rewards are so low. I went ahead and played a little bit just so I could get a feel for this. Alright, now leaf cutter ants have a very, very special resource.
This young queen has successfully raised her first daughters beneath the leaf litter of the rainforest floor. The nutritious fungus she fed them as larvae is now dwindling. If they don't find food quickly, they will all starve. The juicy grubs nearby are a staple meal for many underground opportunists, but for now at least, they will go ignored. This budding Atacephalotus leaf-cutter colony has only one viable source of food, and it must be collected above ground.
Alright, so instead of gathering up tasty little morsels from the ground like we did with the previous ants, leaf cutters can only get their food from the fungus that comes from harvesting leaves. So we're going to make a big old chamber up here. The reason for this is we need a lot of space. Mostly because we need a place to drop off the leaves that we gather. That's going to be right here. And far enough away from that, we're going to want some places to drop some waste. Alright, but the first things first is we got to go out and collect some leaves.
The small scouting party of minor workers could lead any number of deadly jungle creatures back to their undefended queen. They will need time and luck on their side. The workers have located a patch of young seedlings, just what they were looking for. The leaves are soft enough to be sliced up with ease and carried back to the nest.
Yep, so they're going to take these leaves that they're gathering here back down into the nest right here to be dropped off on the leaf.
The harvested leaf chunks are not eaten directly.
There we go.
Instead,
and then we got these little minims
minim workers
that will come and drop off the leaves on our tiles, which will essentially store our food for us. And as you can see, it kind of builds up that fungus that we were talking about earlier. So our workers are pretty much solely dedicated to the task of gathering our leaves, because we have these free minimum ants to go ahead and spread around the food and make sure that everything's getting gathered. The food's going where it needs to go. So we're just going to work on increasing our workers.
They are being watched.
So for this mission, the goal of it is to gather 10,000 leaves. Now that does take some time, and you have competition here. But I went ahead, did a playthrough, and I'm pretty confident we can get this done. Alright. Oh man, we got about 120 of our food spaces taken up by waste. So we're going to create some more waste zones so that our food production isn't being taken up by all that waste. Alright, and it takes 20 food up here in order to gather, just to get one worker. It takes an additional 2 food to hatch that worker. But first they'll put on a minimum, the little teeny tiny ants that are carrying all the waste and food around. They'll put those on it first, and then when there's enough food, the regular one will hatch. Look at them go. And slowly but surely the waste will go up and down. It seems like it's about even with the food that you generate. So we want to get this area nice and large. As well, get this area nice and large here with our food tiles. But this particular mission is a race, so we need to start getting our workers up and running very quickly. So we're going to focus on that for the time being. I'm going to move my normal queen workers out to go fetch some more leaves. We're going to build up plenty of food, and then we'll move the queen workers back onto the queen, and we will have the ability to start placing a lot more workers. There we go. Collect the most leaves, player, and your opponent. We are behind, so we need to kind of kick up in higher gear here.
Claim to them. The close proximity of these nests places the 2 colonies in direct competition with one another. Time will tell which has the potential to grow into a great empire, and which will submit to the unforgiving law of the Undergrowth.
Just move our queen workers back. We should be getting about in the area where we have enough workers in this section here that we don't have to worry about using the queen workers anymore.
These rove beetle larvae are distant relatives of the European devil's coach horse. Despite a few million years of separation, they share the same carnivorous appetite, razor-sharp
oh no, our queen's being attacked.
Importantly, a fearsome final form.
Let's get some ants down here to come deal with it. There we go. Alright, now let's get them back to gathering more leaves. The name of this particular game is Speed, and we need to be going a lot faster. We need to be gathering more, moving more. It's all going to be about throughput, so the more workers we have out there working, the better off we are going to be. And the more workers we make, the more minims we
A
have.
brightly patterned jumping spider, Casviri D. purpureus, has subdued one of the workers. This expert solo hunter combines extreme agility with incredible forward vision, allowing it to pounce on unsuspecting prey with pinpoint accuracy.
Oh, come on. I'm already behind, Spider. I don't need more of this. And we're just being camped by a spider. That is certainly annoying. Well, things happen. Alright, but the name of the game is Leaves, and we are woefully behind. So I'm going to need to get my guys rolling quick. Very shortly we'll go ahead and start expanding into some soldiers.
And the thick rainforest canopy shrouds all but the slightest glimmer of moonlight. The predators of the night begin to emerge.
Now, I am not trying to make this base look pretty. I have not figured out all of the optimal setups yet for this particular patch. So it's not going to look very organized yet. I think when my other series catches up with where I'm at on this playthrough, I'll have it then being very pretty and organized, and everything will make more sense. Alright. Starting to get caught up with our opponent. Everyone's out and gathering those tasty, tasty leaves. Alright, and once I finish that one tile, okay, now we're going to start working on a few media ants. These are your medium combat ants. These guys are going to go out and protect our main soldiers. They are very expensive though, compared to your normal melee ants. These cost 80. And the alphas, the majors, they cost 150. So leafcutter ants, their food generation is interesting. It's a very complex skill, logistics train. And on top of that, it doesn't generate very quickly compared to just go grab a piece of food, put it down, you're done. There's actually a time delay between picking up the leaf, taking it to a zone, dropping it off, picking up waste, moving it to another zone, and it feels a little slower than I'd like it to be, but that's just me personally. I am a fan of quick gameplay, but this is fine for right now. I'm sure that there's some balance issues that I'm not taking a look at. If the food generated too quickly, then leaf cutters will just swarm over everything, and that's not fun. It's just not. Alright, and there we go. Another ant. So right now, on this map, there's a limited number of plants that you can gather from. So what we're doing right now is we're just gathering what's closest to us. I think next it's going to be best if we go over into this area, the left side of the map, start working our way up. Because right now they're gathering over here. We want to kind of cut them off. Eventually we do want to get close up here and in their face because their base is just right there. But they're not taking full advantage of this area as much as they could be. Then we have all this area up here that we can take. It does take a little bit of time to build up a decent number of your forces. Real quick, I'm going to put my soldiers in a different group. We're going to open this up a bit because I want to get more workers going. But I don't want to open up that chamber without having soldiers nearby. And we're going to need more storage for our leaves. More leaves! Okay, let's open this up some. Yep. Those guys are going down quickly.
Predators are loose in the nest. The larvae
there we
must be protected.
Good job, boyos. Those are some good snooters. Alright, we're just going to order us up a bunch of new worker ants. A lot of our guys are just kind of standing around. We don't have that kind of time to waste, guys. See if we can't go that way some. Oh, come on. You know, it might help if I have the correct group picked. Just a thought out loud there. There we go. We can order us up some more workers. It's a big old bunch of leaves right here. I'm gonna enjoy taking that back home. Look at. So can I just comment on the artwork of the leaves real quick? It looks fantastic. It really does look like a group of ants have been through and just started chewing through it. I mean, every time an ant takes a chunk out, it shrinks the leaf a little bit. It looks more worn. It looks more damaged. It's just fantastic. I love it. You can really tell
prey to a wandering harvestman.
that they have really spent their time working on this update.
High above the leaf litter, and when threatened, it can release strong-smelling odors to deter other predators. A stern response will be needed to drive this striding nuisance away.
And boom.
Daybreak has arrived, and the creatures of the night scurry back to the dark crevices of the undergrowth. For the ants, however, the objectives of the day remain unchanged. Locate vegetation, defend supply lines, and process leaves. There is no time for rest.
So in this particular playthrough, you don't, unless you're playing on the more difficult levels, you don't necessarily need a lot of soldier ants, just a handful to support your workers. It's your workers that are really going to win this match for you. Alright, and we need to start relocating where we're getting our food from. Let's go up here. It's a big old chunk of vegetation up here. we're getting to where we have the numbers now. We can definitely go and
prey to a young,
gather far more than our opponent can.
Once in range, its long razor-clad forelegs can ensnare and impale victims with lightning speed.
Nope. Not getting my ants today. Ooh, just look at this. It looks like real life. You see a chain of ants just walking around carrying things, carrying food off to its queen. Fantastic, man. All right. Okay, and we need to upgrade these guys. Put down a few more. Let's upgrade those as well. And there we go, 75 workers. 75 workers can chew through some serious leaf. You just gotta make sure that you keep directing them. So, last time I played, I put everyone basically in one group, and that kind of worked out for me because I could do things like this, where I can go up to something being harvested by my rivals and just kind of charge them. So we're doing a bit more combat-y things.
The leaf cutters will generally not attack unless provoked, but today there's too much at stake. Only a strong show of force will deter the opposing colony.
Kill a couple of their guys. I love how our workers are the ones fighting, and our soldiers are just carrying off the leaves. Just not a care in the world, guys. But we are catching up very quickly to the opponent. They do get what I feel is a little bit of an advantage. They always start like around 600 to 800. Where we start off
aren't the only ants nearby.
with much
Whilst
less.
The two Atta colonies joust for territory, Odontomachus Bowery trapjaws roam the clearing. They can be found hunting alone or in small packs for vulnerable invertebrates to take back to their nest. They use snapping jaws to bludgeon their targets, exerting 300 times their body weight in a single blow.
Yeah, that's a real nasty
leaf
ant
cutters have
that
retreated
they're talking
from one
about.
of their harvesting sites. They may have been easily startled this time, but they'll soon be back, and in greater numbers.
Okay, now that we kind of scared them a little bit, let's go over to this area, pick up some of these leaves over here. They're not going to be inclined to fight us as much now that we kind of showed some force. Actually, no, let's go up here. There's a lot of stuff up here. And it's a lot closer, too. Oh, quick tip. These little vines of ivy, they don't look like it, but you can harvest from them as well. Alright, all that's looking good. Let's go ahead and pick us up a pair of majors. These majors, they're huge, they're expensive, but you don't need a lot of them. You only need, really, like, no more than 5 to 10, depending on what map you're fighting on. They don't carry any more than a regular ant, so For this mission, you only need a couple of them just to kind of help defend. I love watching the ants with all the leaves just go marching. Look at that.
The leafcutters have raised their first major ant. Its swollen head is filled with muscle to power its crushing jaws. Few stand against it in combat and escape unscathed. This champion warrior will make a fine addition to the colony.
Look at him go. There we go. We got a massive amount of leaves coming in. Yeah, we are getting really close to catching our opponent. We're only off by a little under 200. Alright, and it's time to upgrade the waste again, because that's not being handled very well right now. About half of our zones that could be used for food right now is gone to waste. So let's fix that real quick. And in the meantime, while we have all this extra food, let's make a few more soldiers. And a bigger waste area. Look at this, it's just... no one wants to see all that waste, and then it looks all smelly and stinky. No, it just doesn't look good. We're better than that. We can be clean snoots. We don't want to have snotty, disgusting snoots. We want clean snoots. Let's see. It's mostly taken. This is all still good. That has a little bit left on it. All of this is still untouched. Perfect, because that's where we're going to be getting most of our stuff. Coming up here shortly. And we're only about 100 behind now, which is fantastic. Alright, we just want to get these plants done, and then we'll move on to the top northeast section of the map. Okay, and we are... just realized I left my fan on for the entirety of this recording. That's not good. But I'm 30 minutes in. This is due. I gotta have this up and running tomorrow. I'm sorry about that. I don't have time to go and fix it. I wish I did. But everyone's going to be releasing videos tomorrow, so I need to get this one out. Alright, let's make ourselves another major.
And under the cloak of darkness, velvet worms, bush crickets, and harvestmen emerge from their hiding places. Any ant straying from the relative safety of the trail will likely meet with an unfortunate end.
And we are about 200 ahead of our opponent. Wonderful. We are definitely getting there. What I want to do here is make a couple of chambers. Like so. And we are going to fill this to the brim with more workers. The name of this game isn't...
The battle has begun.
Oh. Let's move our soldiers down here
Predators
for
are
defense.
loose in the nest. The larvae must be protected. A Paracanthus varius bush cricket has spotted the ants. Its thorax and appendages are adorned with sharp protruding spikes, offering 360 degrees of protection and turning its substantial forelegs into a pair of deadly flails. This spiny devil will not easily be deterred.
Yeah. That guy. That guy is something
Overwhelmed by the
serious.
defensive leafcutter forces, the harvestman decides to make a swift exit.
Move that. Snap. Small problem. We have to move our workers in for just a moment. Our queen's workers all got annihilated. So here, let's do it like this. Got 3 down there. I just gotta get them to hatch. We are still ahead, we are still working, and our queen is back up and running. Good. Okay. I was getting a little worried there for a second. Here, let's... move that. Take a look, see where everyone's going. Everyone's up here. Good. Come on, my snooty boys. Enemy's catching up. I need everyone going home with a little bit of leaf. We have a couple of soldiers coming back with those leaves. Okay. And now we are going to start seeing a massive surge. There we go. Leaves are going back up like crazy. Minimums can go and put out a bunch of leaves. Food is growing. Colony is growing once again. Everything is great and wonderful. And there we go. One more. Why not? All right. Looks like we are steaming ahead. Let's go ahead and upgrade this a little bit. And add some more if we can.
The leafcutters
yeah.
have clashed northeast of the nest.
Oh, they're trying to invade our territory, guys. That is no bueno. Yeah, snooty boys. Getting in there. Taking what's ours. Look at that, though. That's just so many worker ants just chomping down on you. There's not a whole lot you can do against that many. Yep. Run away! Good job,
Opposing leaf cutters have
snooty
been cleared
boys.
from an area to the northeast. Harvesting operations can now continue.
That's right. All of these leaves, which coincidentally should be nearly enough to get us the big victory, are ours. Let's make a few more majors, because we have the food. Look at all the minims just running around. Isn't that insane? They're all just carrying waste. Oh, wow. That is amazing to behold. And there we go. We got our supply line coming back in. It just looks so cool watching these guys just supply
The
things
leaf
down.
cutters have clashed northeast of the nest.
Oh, wow. Okay. You guys brought friends this time. You guys brought a lot of
As
friends.
the sun rises over the treetops above, the diurnal jungle invertebrates emerge once again to replace their nighttime counterparts.
Yeah, let's
The
go.
ants will remain steadfast in
that
their
way.
efforts. All must be risked for the harvest.
Yeah, that's a lot more guys than I have up here available and that are in a decent enough condition to fight. I didn't want to fight that. But thankfully we're in a position where we didn't have to. This map, this mission itself is all about your workers. So let's make more. More work, more leaves. Let's get you guys up there. We are so close to winning. Just look at... After a certain point, you know, you got enough workers, but I say, let's get more. My ants are slowly but surely deforesting this jungle. It is ridiculous. Hey, look how quickly they tore apart that one plant. And they're just happily marching back. Not a care in the world. They got their leaves. That's all they care about. They're friendly. They're nice. They just want leaves. You know, I'm kind of wondering if there, because this is coming out on the 25th. I'm wondering if there's a missed opportunity there by about 5 days. The adults in the audience will get the joke. The kids in the audience hopefully won't know what I'm talking about.
The hillside at a colony is falling behind. With their demise at hand, they have no choice but to strike back at their opponent.
Oh, really? Okay. So they're gonna come attacking. That's fine. I have plenty of food. Because I'm so far ahead in leaves. We have 167... almost 200 worker ants. Just gathering leaves, bringing them back. Gather leaves, bring them back. like they are a lot closer than I thought they were. Come on, soldiers, I need you guys to get back. We got some intruders in the nest. I need someone to defend the queen. Can we get our guys in here to
protect the queen.
defend the queen, please? Okay. They got here. Ooh, that was a little scary. One misclick, and all of a sudden, I got majors coming in attacking my queen. It's just not cool, guys. It's not cool. But that's okay, because it looks like we are just about to grab our victory. All right, there we go. Victory.
The ants have subdued their rivals and achieved dominion over the clearing. As the competition withers, they will extend their territory in all directions, firmly establishing...
All right, there we go. Everyone, I want to say thank you so very much for watching today, the launch day of the Leafcutter Ants. If you don't have the game, go out and buy it. It's $20 on Steam. Most computers can run it. It's a fun game. If you do have the game, go ahead and comment down below with your score. Let me see if I can't beat it. I have been Snoots. If you like the video, please go ahead and give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to join our notification squad, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.